don't recognise him walking down the street because you only see him with his helmet on. So when his helmet's off, you hardly know it is. But I thought their defence was fantastic, the Bulldogs, to keep the Eagles to 5 scoring shots from 15 entries. That's really good going.
If he's smart, he'll wear his helmet after a good game down the street. There's the bounce back in the middle as we start the second term. Dogs have been great value so far. Coming in off the line, trying to soccer the ball was Boyd, advanced at about 10 metres. Gaff, who's been terrific. 11 possessions. His last outing had a PB of 41 against the Crows. I mentioned that earlier. Get a ball up alongside the centre circles. Bontempelli, just 2 possessions so far. Hutchings responsible for that. With his kick smothered. Marston back to Priddis. He was tackled down. Hunter missed it. Hutchings picks it up, kicks towards half forward. Awkward bouncing ball. Sheed controlled it to the advantage of Darling. Hutchings, 3 possessions very quickly. Sends it inside the forward 50, and it's a beauty onto the chest of Kennedy.
Darling's been the forward who's looked really lively and in the game and taken a couple of really nice contested marks. It was a big 50-50 ball that he won. Set up this pass to Josh Kennedy.
That's only their 3rd inside 50 mark, so that's a strong part of their game normally for the Eagles. So good signs for them early in this second quarter, but certainly in the first quarter, that was the part of the game that wasn't happening for the home team.
Kennedy's had some big days against the Dogs. 10, 8, a couple of 7s. Going at his second right here. It's bending back and it's the post. In fact, all these forwards for the West Coast Eagles, Lacroix and Darling, have all scored heavily against the Western Bulldogs in the past.
Something interesting, 2 of his 4 kicks so far have been torpedoes.
Another haircut for Matty Suckling during the week. Barras drifting in. Dixon, Bontempelli trying to get himself going. His team certainly up and going. McGovern had his name all over it.
That's the kick that they didn't do in the first quarter. Long one down the line. Now where McGovern's waiting, they're really able to be brave back through the middle of the ground, take a risk, and it paid off.
Butler to Marston and back to McGovern, and now Schofield back where it all started. Short one towards the wing and Gaff. Up to 12 disposals. Just a ball magnet. So a 3-quarter kick down the line. Giles, good mark up in front. Tallest man in the contest, and well, no fists from the Bulldogs came. Now Lacroix's up in front here. John came over the top. Defence under pressure. Liberatore, rough head. It all started with Daniel. Daniel now Suckling. Well done. Hutchings smothered that ball. Cripps, Priddis. Hutchings again. Back to Gaff.
Here's Hearn, who can kick it a long way. Doesn't do that. Liberatore controlled it very well. Kicks it up towards the wing. Cordy came strongly. Shuey camped in front. Shepherd quickly away. Gaff waiting to be tackled. Bontempelli just sweating on him. And we get a ball up just forward at the wing.
Had 23 tackles in the first quarter, Bulldogs. Anything over 20 is a really good defensive effort. So they're making hard work for the Eagles to get clear.
Liberatore tackled by Priddis. Giles got boot to ball eventually. Well done by Daniel. Smothered the attempt there by Gaff to move the ball forward. Now John got it from Dunkley. Hand pass by Stringer. On the bounce to Hunter. Was he tackled high? Well done by Hutchings then. Hasn't played a free kick, and now Bontempelli is getting a free kick. Advantage is taken. Daniel hits Dixon. Hang on, it's coming back.
No, the advantage has been paid.
Okay.
They won a contest. There was a free kick to Bontempelli. Advantage was paid, and Caleb Daniel, who's an outstanding decision maker, he saw the opportunity. Here's the free kick for the tackle.
You'd like to lead to Daniel, wouldn't you? He's got a beautiful controlled kick. Just sets it out in front of Dixon, allows him to jump into the high chest mark. Beautiful kick.
Bit of a skirmish after that ball left the area, so that was why the umpire was darting across, having a bit to say. But Dixon, oblivious to all of that, comes in and kicks truly as he normally does. He's got 2. I say as he normally does. He missed a sitter to start the game, Dixon, but he is a dangerous forward. And they're kicking goals tonight, which is something we didn't expect. I mean, if it becomes a high-scoring game, we'd have thought the West Coast Eagles were odds on, but the Bulldogs, as they've done all season really, just defying the odds.
5 goals, 4 from 13 inside 50 entries is fantastic efficiency in that forward 50. So that part of the game's going really well for the Dogs.
And Scotty Lysette is back out there in the centre. All eyes on whether that knee injury is going to reduce his influence.
Good on your belly. So Tory Dixon with 2-1. He kicked 5 straight, of course, in the elimination final against Adelaide last year. The Western Bulldogs have kicked the last 5 goals of this game, deleted by 18 points. Bontempelli off the ground. It wobbles towards the line. And the umpire says deliberate. Wow. Can you believe that? Well, I can't.
Well, that's quite an extraordinary call, you'd have to say, and maybe that is the template for the rest of the game, but that's a hard one to work out.
I mean, I think his intention there, clearly, just to get it out of the area, not necessarily to get it out of bounds. But be that as it may, forward they come again, the Western Bulldog. Biggs, who's been busy. Wellingham, though, found the footy on the ground, and there's a whistle here. West Coast way. And Pritis with the footy. Backward of half forward, so he drives it long. Not a really good kick. Boyd couldn't quite mark. Waiting down Hamling. Bulldogs thought he was taken high. Eagles fans thought he had it too long. Brown, Liberatore, clearing kick.
Barras has to wait, and that's a good grab under pressure. Cordy coming back on him.
I think that's St. Cordy's role tonight then, is that defensive forward role, really making sure that Barras and McGovern don't take marks in the defensive part of the ground for the Eagles.
Butler goes out wide. Here's Hearn. Short one. Lacroix. To Hearn. Just taking the sting out of things at the moment. 18 points the margin. Hearn to Shepherd. Right on the wing then. This crowd silenced. The run from the Dogs after the Eagles kicked the first 2 goals of the game. Off hands. In trouble down there is Morris. Tackled by Darling. Can't even attempt to get it out of there. Ball up right on the numbers.
So Tom Boyd taking a turn in the ruck now. He generally plays big minutes in the ruck for the Bulldogs. And Mark, I think as he improves, they're the ones he needs to take.
Lysette got it out. Marston to Hearn. Lysette has been brave. Well done by the big fella. He's out towards left half forward, a long way from home.
So a bit of extra strapping, it would seem, and back out there, Brown at the back. Easton Wood, here's Hill, bouncing it back towards the line, but it's a little skinny and a behind, and it feels like it's been a long time since the West Coast Eagles have had a meaningful thrust forward.
It does, but having said that, they've had 11 of the last 12 inside 50s, the Eagles, so they had plenty of the footy forward half of the ground, not able to convert.
Boyd, Liberatore from the back, an unlikely flyer, and the ball just rolls off hands. So just a momentary stalemate here with the Bulldogs up by 17 points. Both just taking a bit of a breather, Lee.
They're getting plenty of numbers back and congesting the forward 50 for the Eagles, the Bulldogs, and then trying to slingshot forward. That's the way they're setting it all up.
Marston trying to thread a hand pass through. Gaff attracts a crowd. The ball up down towards right half forward.
Then Mark Hutchings is doing a superb job on Bontempelli. 4 possessions to the Bont as we see him go third man up.
Oh, Hunter taken high. Hutchings spent some time on St Kilda's rookie list. And Hunter, he started brilliantly. Apart from a couple of wayward shots at goal, sends it towards half forward. That's a good mark by the little fella. In front, Dalhouse has been terrific. 10 possessions in the opening term. McRae so deadly with his feet, or foot more particularly. Decidedly left-footed. There goes the kick from Dunkley, who took the mark. Down towards full forward. Well, a couple of Dogs stayed down. They could benefit off the ground. Someone needed to soccer it. Cordy, too much of a gentleman. Comes across towards Daniel. Now Dalhouse snaps a goal. Oh, the Dogs.
Well, that's a massive, massive goal. That's 6 goals in a row now for the Bulldogs in this game. And Luke Dalhouse having an enormous influence. Disposal number 12, first goal, 3 tackles. Big, big moment for that man on screen, Luke Dalhouse.
Fancy forward pressure outstanding, and Caleb Daniel just found his way to the footy in the middle of the legs. Dallas, that's where Dallas, you've got to hold your ground a little bit. Don't get sucked in too close. Keep your space. Beautiful feed out. Good goal.
A win for the little guys. They did it for Belly. 6 goals in a row for the Western Bulldogs. They are right over the top of the West Coast Eagles, and Jong sends them forward again, knocked away from Stringer, but he keeps coming. He's got eyes only for the goals. Away he goes. He wants to take him on Johannesson. Here's Daniel again in the pocket. Boyd's on the end of it. How well are they playing, the Bulldogs?
That was a brilliant kick inside forward 50. The perfect kick for the way they want to play. He plays away to the goal square. McGovern's down there. Barras is down there. Hit the leading target. Perfect play.
Just Jordan Ruffett seems to have a bit of an issue. He's not particularly happy as he's coming to the bench now.
So this is Boyd's 4th disposal of the night. He's been a good target. Some time in the ruck. 10-7 this season for a 29-point lead. It's across the face and just in for a behind, but as it is, a 4-goal spread in favour of the Western Bulldogs.
Coming back from a calf injury is Jordan Ruffett, one of the 5 inclusions tonight in this game.
Short one to the pocket, and Barras close to the boundary line. Darling reaches over the top. Wide in the crumb is Hunter. Missed the target over the head of Hamlin. Coming across, there was Suckling to assist. Close to the boundary. On the bounce, Hunter didn't have the football. And there was a free kick there, taken high. So the umpire had it for a high tackle, but he didn't take possession, just pushed it away cleverly.
You always speak in interstate games about a lull in the crowd and a bit of quietness. You just feel this home crowd are just, it's not really going the way we expected. They've kicked the last 6 goals, and an interstate team really feeds off that energy.
Gaff got it from Barras, found Shepherd, Hill back to Shepherd. No confidence. Here's one man who's exuded confidence. Gaff towards half forward, but in front Hamlin. Took the mark, plays on to Dalhouse.
He's been a star tonight. Dalhouse, just terrific. There's Biggs, now Pickett. Ball quickly onto Boyd, so they build again from half-back towards the wing, and Dixon's got the footy. Well, we know that bye was always going to benefit the Western Bulldogs. The unknown was, would it stop the momentum of the Eagles? And right now, Darsh, you'd have to say yes.
Yeah, they were flying, weren't they, West Coast, coming off a massive win, and it's like the Bulldogs that benefited the most from that.
How about this? Boyd from the Barras spoil. It fell into his hands, and not for the first time tonight. A very gettable opportunity for the Western Bulldogs goes begging. They're 25 points in front. Sounds strange. They could be as much as 35 or 40 points in front.
Just looking so much quicker at ground level in all parts of the game, and it's a ground level game at this point, and the Bulldogs are doing that much better.
Bellingham virtually straight up the middle. John taken down strongly. Cleverly by Shepherd. Giles over the top. Marston, clever U-turn. Nice sheet, ample time. Measures a kick. That was terrific. He was surrounded by Bulldogs, but it's taken by Darling. Looks across the ground. Breaking down towards the forward line is Hill. Who'd gone back to help his defence. Well, really did nothing there. Just waited to be tackled. Lack conviction. Smith's got the ball. Short to Liberatore. Barely the 15. Liberatore finds himself inside the centre square. And the upshot of all of this, and the upside as far as the Dogs are concerned, Marcus Bontempelli could be a real factor. 4 possessions at the present time. That's too good for the Eagles to expect the last. Dixon dances out of trouble, spots a man on the outer side and goes to Hunter. Now Hunter, like Dixon before him, missed an easy one at the beginning of the game.
Guys, big news down here on the interchange. Lin Yong looks to have a shoulder complaint. He's in the hands of the doctor right now, and body language is not good.
Rocky Hunter. Can he kick this one? He's been so busy. 11 possessions. Gav has got 16. I mentioned Bontempelli with 4. His PB is 33, and I'd suggest safe. There goes the kick, and through it goes. The rout continues. A stream of goals for the Dogs.
It's only, what, 13 days ago when we saw the Eagles were so sharp and quick, and everything about their game was just on. When they beat the Crows a couple of weeks ago, well, it's the reverse. Tonight, the Bulldogs have got the speed and the quickness about their game. They're sure with their ball handling. The Eagles are going to have to really do a U-turn very quickly to get this game back, because the Bulldogs are just well on top now.
So there's Lin Jong, and he's in tears. That's Gary Zimmerman with his arm around Lin Jong, and reading into that, you would think he's not going to take any further part in the game, which is just about the story of the year for the Bulldogs. Things go well, they suffer an injury at the worst possible time.
Look at the tackling pressure, though. Hunter again keeps the ball moving forward. McGovern on Cordy. Marston with a mop-up job to do here, and now Hearn just wobbling it out towards Shuey. Did well. Got around Liberatore. So they need some cool heads here. They need to find some targets. He looks up quickly. Hill kept running. There was a man on, but just couldn't spot him. Instead, the ball wobbled towards Darling. Hill kept going. Now Lacroix, outside 50, Kennedy. Marks, Hamling right there with him, plays on quickly. Elliott Yeo, 15 metres out directly in front. And this to stop a run of 7 consecutive Western Bulldogs goals.
A few parts of the game where they've been overlapped. The positioning of the Bulldogs back half's been outstanding, just to block down the usable space. The Eagles found the holes on that occasion.
Elliott Yeo, 19 games this season. He's a very important cog in this team. 16 goals, so virtually directly in front. Well, they desperately need this one, and he's missed.
I tell you what, Baz, he had a similar shot. In fact, he was closer back in round 11 at Etihad Stadium, and he missed that one too. He's not a good thing around goals yet. Good player, but
Just see Adam Simpson just sit back in the chair and suck a bit of a deep breath in, and sometimes these nights just unfold the way that you would expect. You can't believe that was a miss.
Bontempelli, McRae, back to Bontempelli, getting touches, dangerous sign. McRae wants to feed Bontempelli. They surrounded him. Johannesson, though, on the burst, drives it down towards half forward. Boyd from the side. Too easy for McGovern.
Had to do better there, Tom Boyd. He just had to bring that to ground. He was in really good position.
Shuey gave it to Sheed. Kicks up to the wing and Hill. Signs are better for the West Coast Eagles. Darling should mark this one. 20 metres out. Don't go. He did go. Tackle by Suckling. Got to be holding the ball. Well, he can't say he didn't hear the umpire, because the umpire was virtually standing 5 metres away.
This is a nightmare for the Eagles. That's a certain goal.
I think he wanted to give it to Kennedy. He knew Kennedy was there and thought he might have been loose on his own.
Well, the goals were there.
Yeah.
Ball outside the 50. Roughhead knocks it down. Shuey did well. Giles high up and under. In front, almost Easton Woods. Slipped away from him, though. Picked up by Darling, tries to bullock his way out. Anxious to make amends, then down he went.
It's almost indicative of the Eagles' game, isn't it? Darling takes a mark 20 metres out, says, oh, maybe I can play on. Messes it up, and that's what the Eagles' game has been, mate.
Quite rightly, as much as anything, just shows how their thought processes have not been particularly true tonight. And now a high tackle. It's a Bulldogs ball in the bottom of all of that.
And the psychology of the game, and you see Lin Jong, you know, he knows he's done his shoulder. Very emotional time for the young fella, but the fact that the pressure has now got back onto the Eagles, because there is, you hope the play is going to go the way the odds have said, but it hasn't.
Roughhead got really high there. Priddis, Yeo, look at the tackling from the Bulldogs. Dunkley in there, and the ball over the line and just away from the play for a moment. That shot we saw on the interchange bench. It's a hard, tough game, AFL football, and look at the pain on the face of one young man playing finals football and hoping to continue to do his bit for his team, and all of a sudden incapacitated. That's what it means to these young men.
Out of contract this year, Lin Jong, he's been linked to Collingwood at various stages throughout, and you wonder what's going through that young man's mind. It was what you dream of. You want to come out, you want to play your best game in a big final. And
but how steadfast are club doctors? I mean, he's right in his ear. He's seen a lot of things, Gary Zimmerman.
Yep, Jake Landsberger on the other side. Two of the best in the business, Dan. They've been there for 30 years, the two Bulldog doctors.
And they see a lot of tears, the blood and the sweat as well, but they're pillars in that situation. Ball inside the forward 50. Morris on the way down. Eastonwood didn't have the footy. Opportunity. Well, Brown went to ground. Morris got a kick. It was smothered. Came to Gaff. Marston, can he get through? Well done. Gives a hand pass to Hearn. Trying to get someone clear. Shepherd's kick was smothered. Grabbed by Morris. Little chip pass barely to 15. And McRae, who's now starting to work into this game. He's a dangerous player, McRae. Here's Hunter. Drags it down towards half forward. Bontempelli launches himself. Yo on the deck. Played it brilliantly. Coming across his path was Dixon. He's taken down. And we'll get a ball up on the outer side.
Guys, we came into this match talking about the Eagles' marking power. The irony's not lost on me. It's been the Bulldogs' smaller players doing all the damage.
Dunkley was the man who was tackled.
Eddie Boyd with a bit of a blood brawl. Took the smack in the mouth, I think, coming off to get that sorted out.
As they needed to, the Eagles have listed their intensity and the visible effort the last 5 minutes. Haven't got the result on the scoreboard, but they've started to draw a few of these contests that the Bulldogs had been winning.
You would have thought if the Bulldogs were 30 points up, 4.5 minutes out from half-time, with Bontempelli's dominated the first half. He hasn't been cited. He's almost been their quietest player.
Well, quite remarkable, isn't it, Dars? Everything about it. If you've just joined us, West Coast with the first 2 goals, the next 7 to the Western Bulldogs, and that's 7 in a row. What about that, Smith? Quickly, the ball moved on. Oh, that was good footy by Dalhouse, but just wasn't able to bring the ball around enough.
Incredible story, Clay Smith involved in that last play. As we look at Luke Dalhouse on the screen. 3 knee reconstructions. Crossroads of his career, and he's really had an amazing season, Clay Smith.
Butler, who played in the 2006 Premiership, still out there. Johannesson hooks it around, almost for Picken, and then Hearn met him solidly. Shepherd, Barras, clearing kick.
Brown coming back on Morris. Morris almost took the mark. Easton Wood. Get the hands free to suck it forward, forcing it forward the West Coast Eagles. Darling. Shuey runs on. Now he goes back. This is Gaff. Gaff picking up the slack there. Short one, Lacroix. Thought about the hand pass. Now he goes with his left peg. Not sure that's a good idea. Hill almost clutched it away. Brown, the unlikely man to break the string of goals for the Bulldogs.
First disposal for the game, Brown, but it was an opportune time to get a kick.
First goal for the season, Lee.
Yeah, run into an open goal, and he hasn't been able to find the ball in there. I think they've just started to work their way back into the game the last 5 minutes, the Eagles. Now they've got the score, the final break in. They've still only got 3 goals as we approach half-time.
He was an interesting selection, Mitch Brown. He's played his whole career as a defender. The last couple of games he's played for the Eagles have been up forward. First goal for the year. They were trying to stretch the Bulldogs, but the way this game's unfolded, they haven't been marking the ball, and it's been the Bulldogs at ground level who've caused all the damage.
Been playing a lot of football in the WAFL with East Perth, and he's played a lot of that football forward. We'll get that bounce again. As you saw just momentarily on the right of screen. So after 7 goals in a row, the Eagles have one back with 3.5 to play in the second term. In your wildest dreams as a Bulldog fan, you couldn't have expected this.
Well, these are big minutes now. You know, you think if you get an extra goal and you go in with that big break, if confidence surges, the Eagles get a couple back the other way, and you feel like all that hard work may be for nothing.
Bontempelli starting to get his hands on the football more regularly. Dunkley in there, lost it to Shuey. Well done to Lysett. Heard the voice of Marston. Can feed it out to Hearn. So the West Coast Eagles are building. Kennedy, that was really well done. Knocked away cleverly by Hamling. It stayed in. Marston, back to Shannon Hearn. Deja vu. Kennedy going the other way. He's given away a free kick. And Hamling, who has been a really good player this season. Second year from Cable Beach originally. Now that is a junior football club to desire.
Not the 10 I would have expected. There's Picken towards midfield. Boyd with confidence came to the front of the pack. Well done, big fella. Alongside those centre circles. Told to play on, drives it long. It's one-on-one football, deep in attack. Punch forward, Marston slips it away to Butler. Butler gives it to Prentice. Over the top it goes. Oh, clever. Hutchings knocked it back. Heard the voice of Gaff. Gaff prone, gives a hand pass across towards a teammate and Yo. Hutchings feeling it, goes back to Yo. Fast running out of space. Kept his composure. Awkward centering ball. Chance for a rebound opportunity for the Dogs. The big fellows combine there. Roughhead, Boyd, Biggs. Pardon the pun, the ball comes across towards the wing. Mark is taken by Dalhouse. Dalhouse a hand pass, Picken. Picken looks inside the forward 50. He challenges Bontempelli. Was that in the back? Play-on's the call. Well done by Hearn. Hutchings getting back quickly. Moments ago involved on the wing, and now this ball finds Wellingham at right half back.
Bontempelli spending a bit of time forward trying to get a different matchup, different look. Hutchings has been able to take him out of the game the first half in the mid part of the game.
Another mark for McGovern. He and Barras getting their hands on it a lot. Living up to the nickname the Marks Brothers. Back in defence for the West Coast Eagles. Here's Kennedy. So less than 90 seconds on the clock. And this scoreline in danger of being the West Coast Eagles' lowest score at half-time in a final at Subi. McGovern, Butler, Wellingham. This is really well done by the Dogs.
Yeah, their full-ground defence has been really good. The Eagles just can't find their way through.
They've pushed up in their faces. Eastonwood got a hand on that. Important. Shuey at the back. The ball close to the line. Cordy had it knocked away. Clay Smith handballed it his way. Shuey well done. Pritis back to Shuey. Slipped the pick and tackle. Boyd so tough. Liberatore tougher. Goes in. Got it out to Cordy. And now all of this eating up valuable seconds on the clock, and importantly for the Western Bulldogs, they tie it up and earn a bounce.
That's your genuine hard contested finals ball, and no surprise that Liberatore in amongst that.
And again Liberatore, Smith, Boyd having a good term. Hooks it down towards half forward. They come from all directions. Ball falls in front. Wellingham did nicely. Butler, McGovern. Sends it up towards the wing and Shuey bearing down Boyd again. Oh, we're watching him grow up, Boyd. The ball comes off the boot of Smith. It's gone out of bounds on the fall. 17 seconds remaining in the term. Only once this season have the West Coast Eagles trailed at half-time. That was late in the season against Melbourne on this ground.
That's rarely happened for the Bulldogs. One of the reasons why they are 4 goals in front. Very few times they've had intercept marks taken in defence.
High one towards the wing then. From behind, the other Boyd. And their supporters are Boyd as well. What a first half from the Dogs.
Oh, a bit going on here though, Den. Lacroix wants a piece of Liberatore. And they're coming from everywhere. I reckon there's more in this. West Coast Eagles want to get involved.
There's history between the state, I think, of Liberatore. What a combative young man he is, but what a wonderful player he is. Already one of best and fairest, then did his knee. Came back early this season, injured again, but he's very much the lifeblood of this team. He sets the agenda, and what an agenda it's been. A remarkable club. You've got to admire the way they play. Doctors out to Yo. So much to keep an eye on. Half-time at Domain Stadium. It's 7-6, 48 to 3-6, 24. Big upset brewing. The Western Bulldogs are playing to win.